Hi, welcome to the small shed. This week I'm going to find out what I really get up to in the week. See you in a minute. So it's a Friday afternoon, I'm just having a tidy up in the shed and I don't really know where the week's gone, as per usual. As I said the other day, things just seem to be getting faster and faster and whizzing past, and I don't get a chance to stop and breathe. So I thought it might be useful, do something different this week, and for the next 7 days I'm going to actually just do a vlog every day of what I'm up to, and I think it may prove interesting both to me and possibly to yourselves as well, and just find out what the hell I really am doing all the while, because I don't seem to be getting much done. But let's start off tomorrow morning, Saturday, and we'll run through every day and see what's going on in a typical week in the small shed. Right, it's 9 o'clock Saturday morning. Let's get this little experiment kicked off. I'm going to just get these bits in the car that have got to go up to the charity shop, and then we're off to a plant sale up at the gardening club, so I've got to load up some plants as well, and go and see how we get on there. Right, so it's 10:30. Been to the plant sale and got slightly less than we took. Just taking all the stuff around to the charity shop. Just going to go and do the weekly shop now. Right, it's 12:15. Done the shopping, just had a cup of coffee. Just doing a bit of tidying up and around the shed for 10 minutes or so. Just going to have a spot of lunch, and then we're off to have a look. There's a craft fair that many sheds are, well, we've got an outdoor stand at. It's only down in Stoke Prior, so I'm going to go along and give them a hand on that and have a quick look round there as well. So that will probably take up most of the afternoon, I think, so we'll go over and join them after lunch. Right, 3:30. Just going to go and get the car and pack some of the stuff into the car because they're short of space, and we'll get it back to the Men in Sheds shed. Right, it's 4:30 Saturday. We're back home on having unloaded all the stock back at the shed at Men in Sheds. Don't think they had a very good day, not a lot of people there, but we made a few pounds for the shed anyway. Time, I think, I'm just going to get changed into some scruff clothes and have half an hour or so playing on stuff for the cycle cart before getting dinner. Back in the shed, just doing a bit more on the cycle cart. I've got that, the panel that I've lacquered the aluminium on, and the piece I'd painted earlier, I've stuck them together, well, I've screwed them together, so I've just given it a coat of lacquer. That's dried. Just sticking louvers on now for the bit on the lower bonnet side. I've done the other side, and hopefully I think that probably will be the last thing I'm doing this afternoon.
But in one way it is more technically advanced. After the disappointment of tour, Seagrave...
Right, it's 20:20 Sunday morning. We're going out today to the Malvern Spring Garden Show, so I'm just popping out to the shed to pick up a battery for the other GoPro, or another battery for this GoPro, I should say. So it's another one of those days where I've got day out, but there won't be any real video content. I'll probably take a couple of videos while I'm there of anything that's of interest, but really it's not anything I can put on the channel because I did it last year. So that's the sort of one of the things that I get. A couple of things. I had a lousy night last night sleeping, but I did wake up about 3:45 with no electrics on anywhere in the house, so I had to get up and reset that. So there's a bit of investigation to do there as to why that's tripped out. And I noticed when I was having a wash this morning that the sink is glugging a lot, which usually means it wants a bit of drain cleaner down it. So here we are, first thing on a Sunday morning. I've already got 2 jobs to do and a full day out. You might say, well, this isn't typical of a normal week, but if it wasn't for this going to the spring garden show, we'd be actually going out for a walk with a walking group, which we do every month as well. So, you know, quite often Sundays are taken up with that sort of thing anyway. A few goodies together for a picnic. We'll make some coffee. Right, just back from Malvern. It's 5:10, something like that. Had a good day. We've walked probably as far as we would have done if we'd been out with the walking group. We've done certainly over 4 miles according to my little tracker. Come back with a few plants which will no doubt result in a bit of gardening. My wife's seen a couple of bedside lamps that she wonders if I might be able to make the bases for, so there's a new project on that. I got some ideas for 1 or 2 other things from the craft area. So all in all, not a bad day. Just got to go in now and get some bit of tea. We had quite a bit to eat at lunch, so I'll probably just get something light, a bit of salad and pizza or something. And probably not be doing a lot else today, I think, because I'm pretty much wrecked, I think. Right, half past 7 Sunday night. I've just had something to eat, sit down for a minute or two, gather my thoughts, just made a cup of coffee, just popped back out into the shed for the last things to do today really. I've downloaded all the video I've taken today and put onto the computer, but I'm supervising at many sheds tomorrow, so I need to just get a couple of bits and pieces. Promised somebody I'd take a router in, a palm router, and some bits, and I've got a couple of bits that I need to take along to do some work on, so just sort those out in the shed, and that will probably be pretty much the end of another busy day. Right, Monday morning, 9 o'clock, time to go over and unlock the shed at Menning Sheds and get ready for the day. Not usually a lot I can do over there on my own with when you're supervising, because unfortunately you've got to keep an eye on everybody and make sure they've still got all the fingers at the end of the session. So I've got a couple of bits and pieces in the car if I do get a minute or two to do a bit of sanding, but otherwise from a production point of view it's pretty unproductive, but a bit more rewarding in other ways. So we'll get over to the shed and unlock and do a couple of checks before people start to get in. So first job of the day is to test one of the contactors. I normally go around in order, and I think the last one I did was number 5. What we do, I'll just put something on. These are emergency stop buttons we've got to stop all the machinery in the place if there's a problem. So in theory, if we hit stop button, well, any of the stop buttons, it immediately cuts that out. That's it, that's all it needs, just to reset the contactor and it's all back in order. And as ever with these things, we need to, in this day and age, record it. So it's 15th today, and then quick visual check on, basically on the machinery. Make sure the place is tidy, make sure the guards are working on things. We've got some milk, which we have. We've got some biscuits, which we have loads of. That's probably more important than anything else in the shed. You spend a couple of minutes before anybody gets here turning up the dowel for the little duck that I'm making, and get a bit of time in doing that before anybody arrives. That's why I put the apron on. I'm afraid you get it all over here. How you doing, boss?
Oh, good job, thank you.
Hello, young man. Long time no see.
Right. So there we are, 2:15. Everybody's gone home safely, which is really all that matters. And time to lock up. Right, just had a few minutes doing a bit of work on the duck in the lathe. That's got the dowel that I did this morning at the shed fitting nice and smoothly into there, a little bit of room for some glue. So that can now be done. It's just after 4 o'clock, 4:15. Got to go in now. Just realised I can't do all my downloading and that and bits of editing after dinner tonight because it's gardening club tonight, so I want to go and get the bits and pieces out of the camera, get those downloaded, put them into some sort of order, even if we don't do an edit on them. Bit of a different one tonight. We're using up bits, so I'm having salad, my wife's having a couple of the Jersey Royals and some chicken and some asparagus, so we've got a bit of a double menu going on.
I'm also going to put
Lovely to see you.
compared to this seeing him, when he stands in it, that sun, it looks like you've got a halo. You know, when you look at somebody, you've got a halo on your head.
Right, Tuesday morning. Had a good night last night at the gardening club, learning all about bugs and slugs and snails and things. Came back about 9 o'clock, did a bit of editing till about 10, so it was quite a long day. So having a bit of a more easy day today, I think, just to get over the weekend and yesterday. So I'm going to be helping my wife out in the garden doing some pots first thing, but I've also got the lifting flap for the club to take the glued up parts, strip all the bits and pieces off, all the clamps off, and I've got to glue up the duck that I did the dowel for yesterday. So there's plenty to be doing today, but we'll start out in the garden. Well, it's lunchtime and I've just about broken. So much for an easy day. If anybody moans about sanding, I'll point them in the direction of cutting the heads off Christmas roses to stop them going to seed, and that will keep them busy for hours on end. Andy's back breaking, so I'm going to go in for some lunch now. It's 1:30, so we're going to do that and then it's off to the dentist, so that's going to wipe most of the afternoon out, I think. Right, they cancelled our dental appointment at fairly short notice, so that was a bit of an anticlimax. So I've spent the afternoon, I've just stripped out the railway board that I've been working on, glued another end in it, and I've been working on the duck. I've glued the dowels in for that, and I've been balancing the propellers for either side of it, so they're pretty much in balance now. So I'm going to go in now, it's coming up to 4:30, go in, have a shower because I'm covered in dust and garden crap, and go and get the dinner, probably as it's sunny and nice, another salad, I don't know, nice weather for it, but we'll see, and a little bit of editing after dinner. Right, so let's have a look at this. The problem is you can hear it going. Hold on a sec. So let's put some stuff down. Morning, Wednesday morning, 9:30, another nice day. Looks like we're set in for some decent weather for a few days, so I like to try and get a rough idea of what I'm doing beforehand, but sometimes you've got to be a bit reactive, and although it wasn't even anywhere on the timeline of things to do, it is probably time to start and get a bit of work done on the outside patio while we've got the nice weather. I've been holding back because I can't get the bottom of the excavation cleaned out properly until we've got a few good days, otherwise it just gets boggy and wet and then you just go down deeper and deeper and deeper. So we got a load of stuff yesterday that will need to go up to the tip. I need to get some stuff for the seat of the bench that I'm making, and I need to get some stone for the bottom of the thing. So I think that's probably the first thing to do this morning, go out and get up the tip, get some stuff tipped up and dumped up there, and go and get some timber and some ballast. That was looking good. And then lunchtime-ish I've got to upload cycle cart video, if I can remember. I have occasionally forgotten and once or twice been reminded through Instagram that I forgot to put one up. Just had an email from a lady, I think she's editor or editing an article in British Railway magazine, well, it's British Railway Modelling magazine. They came and took some pictures at the Railway Club of my layout in December before it went off when I'd sold it, and I'd written an article for that that should be, I think, being published in July, but they wanted some captions doing for the photographs that they're including in the article. So that's just come through. They want those by Friday, so that's going to be something else either today or tomorrow that will take up a few hours. There's about, I don't know, 8 or 9 photographs that need 50 words or so on each one doing, so that's something else. That's what I was on about, having to react to what goes on. You can't just plan the day out. It's a bit like being at work, but hopefully we can fit that in around everything else. That's a bit annoying, I got no ballast, so I have to call somewhere else on the way back. Right, 5 bags of ballast, load of timber on board. Time to get back for a bit of coffee. Right, second trip up the tip. Well, this morning I say technically it's 12:15, so it's this afternoon, but just taking a load of soil up out of the excavation where it's been bottomed out. I've still got another section to dig out, but the important thing really was to get the work that I'd already done tidied up, and we've done that this morning. I'm not going to go on it this afternoon because it'll probably just completely wipe me out if I do any more digging, and it's silly to do that when we've got a few days decent weather. I can come back to it tomorrow morning fresh and make a start on that. We've got to get it marked out. So yeah, we were going out to lunch tomorrow with some friends, and they've just rung to say that one of them's poorly, so that gives me a bit more time tomorrow to work. So we'll hopefully get back onto that in the morning. I'll get this stuff up the tip, go and have some lunch, and then we'll get back in the shed and see what needs doing in there next. Right, Monday, Wednesday, it's Wednesday afternoon. I don't know where I am. 2:30, back in the shed. I've just realised I've forgotten to upload the video for the cycle cart, so I'll whip back and do that in a second, or start it running anyway in a second or two. But I'm going to be gluing up the chair leg ends today, or at least one of them. Get that started. If I do one today, one tomorrow, that will be another part of the video sorted for the Morrison's bench. That's a pretty good day on several fronts really. We've got the duck pretty much finished now. I've got to put some final finish on the body of it and the wings, but that's pretty much there and working. We've got the one of these bench ends glued up, and we've got all the bit outside the shed bottomed out and tidied up. There's a bit more to cut out, but on the whole not a bad Wednesday. So it's 20 past 4, same as I said earlier, and I still haven't got round to doing it yet. I'm going to go in and get the cycle cart video uploaded, and then it'll be time to get the dinner. Thursday morning, just been spending a bit of time cleaning up the glue squeeze and joints of this first bench that I did yesterday. Today's job, I think, is to get the other one done if I can, get the other one glued up, probably do that after lunch, because it takes the whole bench up, and I've got the morning, just want to go out and do the bit more work on the patio that we're working on. I want to get a curve into the right shape so I can cut back that last bit of stuff. Even if I don't get rid of all the soil, I can at least start and get that work done, get it marked out. So another busy day ahead. Oh, I know what I've got to do. Yes, it's Thursday. I've got to get that article done for British Railway Modelling magazine. That's got to be submitted tomorrow, and I'm going to the Railway Club tonight, so I must do that after lunch as well. Yeah, I've had 2 lots of this stuff in, and it's clearly not a fat lot of good to anybody. This is something which my wife got that she thought would do it, but it's really hasn't got the strength, I don't think. So we're going to move up to the big guns and try stuff that I use when the shower gets in the same state. This is much more efficient and will hopefully do the job. Right, it's lunchtime, 12:30. Done 2 trips to the tip this morning, and I've got some MOT1 ballast which will go in the bottom of the excavation. Go and have some lunch, and then we'll get onto this article for BRM magazine. Yeah. Right, that's got the base in. Next thing is to put the foundation for the wall across there and probably across the back. Right, nothing's gone exactly as I planned it, but it seldom does. I haven't got round to doing the other glue up on the other leg, but I thought it was more important to get that stone in because it's stabilised it now. If it rains, which it's due to do tomorrow, it's not likely to do any harm, whereas if I'd have left it and it rained heavily, I could have ended up taking another couple of inches out, and all the hassle that involves in going up the tip and getting more stone and all sorts of other stuff. So we've got 12 bags of stone in today, which is what, probably just over a quarter of a ton, I would imagine. Got rid of all the soil that was coming out, so that's all gone, so we're all ready to start moving on with it when I get a chance. Just going in the house now to get this writing bit done. So this is the draft of the article that they've done, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pages. And what they haven't done yet is fill in the little blocks at the bottom with the descriptions of what's on the photographs. So I've just got to go through the pictures until I find the one that they're using, like that one. That's the original of that one, and make some sort of 50-word comment on that just to put into the block. And we've got to do that for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 photos, so that should keep me busy for a few minutes. Right, it's Friday morning, just after 9, but I've just been in here a couple of minutes tidying up. Friday is a day that I class as my day off, although it's not really. It means I just do stuff that I specifically want to do myself. My wife goes off to sewing, so I've got the run of the day to myself really, with no other interruptions. So usually I'm out in the garage with the cycle cart doing work on that. This morning I think I'll break that rule, if you like, just to get this last leg glued up, which I didn't get done yesterday, and then that'll get me back on track with that. That's because I've been doing the garden instead, but we're getting ahead. And then once that's done, I can get back off into the garage and do some work on the cycle cart. So right, that's got the second glue up done, much calmer and more easily organised this time. I think having done it once, you start to get a process that you can follow. But that's got that done, so we're back on track with that, into the garage now, and we'll go and make a start on the cycle cart. Right, it's Friday afternoon, it's 4 o'clock. I've had a reasonably successful day on the cycle cart. Doesn't really look as if I've done a lot, and in fact in some areas it looks worse because I've taken it to pieces, but I've been doing a lot of fiddly bits like accelerated cables and things, so it's stuff that's got to be done, and it's part of this sort of 20% of the work takes 80% of the time thing that you get with things towards the end of a project. There's so many little bits to tidy up, but we're just about getting there, I think. So I've had not a bad day. I'm just going now to download a few videos that we've got on the cameras, and go and have a quick check on the bathroom, because that was the other thing that was sort of outstanding. I've had a couple of goes at and not got very far with, and get some tea, and then that will probably be it for this this video, other than getting a few bits and pieces of tea done. and a bit of video editing afterwards. Right, that seems to have got that as sorted as it ever will be. It's because it's at the head of the run, if you like, it's the highest point on this run, and there's no vent on this end of it. You're always going to get a certain amount of glugging, but we're not getting this sort of continual glug 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 that was going on for about 5 minutes before, so I think we've achieved something with that as well. Right, well, what a week that was, and I have to say it was probably typical in many respects of pretty much every week, and it's only when I've just come in from editing this one. It's Saturday today at the end of that week, and I've just been doing the last bit of editing. Now that editing took an awful lot of time in this instance because there was probably 8 or 9 hours of material over the week, and I was doing it as much as I could every night, but to try and get it down to a sensible length from 8 hours was a fair amount of work involved in it. But it's been quite instructive, really. I've been working on the club railway lifting flap, the bench, the duck, a couple of cycle cart videos, and the patio outside. So, you know, there's 5 or 6 things going on this week, of which I've finished about 3 of the videos. The duck's finished, the bench ends are finished, and the patio is at a stage where that'll be a video up to the preparation of the ground, if you like. So it's sort of what I expected, if you like, in that I'm probably on average producing about 3 videos a week, and that's now roughly the way it's coming out. Seems to have settled into a relatively comfortable schedule in that I've got 2 or 3 sets of weekly videos ahead of myself. Just gives me that little bit of comfort that I'm not having to panic and get stuff done. So from that point of view, it's been useful to sort of look at what I'm doing and seeing overall, if you like, from the outside. What did surprise me was the hours that I'd never really noticed before. I sort of beat myself up for not getting up that early in the morning, and it's sometimes 9, half 9 before I come out into the shed or before we start doing anything. But looking at it, I've just realised that with the editing, I'm basically working 9 till 9 every day, and I'm probably having half an hour in the morning for coffee and an hour and a half at lunchtime for sit down and a bit of something to eat, and even then there's sometimes some editing going on. So I suppose it's not too unrealistic to sort of think that for somebody who's retired and over 70, a 70-hour week is probably plenty enough. And there has been some quite heavy physical work this week with the stone. I mean, I shifted half a ton of stone and soil yesterday, or Thursday. So yeah, it's been interesting anyway. So I hope it was of interest to you. It probably will explain to you why things have been a bit quiet on the video front of late, because I'm just not getting the time to actually put them together is part of the reason. There's so many other things going on that you can see, and this is, as I say, is not an untypical week. So hope it was of interest. Look forward to seeing you next time. We'll be doing something different. I'll see you then. Bye.